Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing here in Spiritual Encrypted Encounters? And when I share this video to all the other sides, I share it too. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. I'm waiting for a special guest uh, to send me a request so I can add my special guest on. I'm doing a lot better health-wise today. Can feel getting all my energy back after having the COVID and all. Here we go. And our special guest for the day, where we're reviewing, is going to want to view this. There we go. This is a very good friend of mine here. That when I was going through a lot of things and she was going through a lot of things, we met through spiritual connection through some spiritual sites we were on. Uh, this is, I call her Sister Aska. That's, that's what I call her. Uh, like I said, you want to introduce yourself, sister? And by the way, congratulations on your engagement. That was like touched my heart. Sometimes I say things, sister, and I don't know what I said, but when I say certain things, I come out a certain way, and I'm glad that y'all did it. You know that you're engaged. I'm very happy for both of y'all. I was telling Maria about it. She got all happy.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, Eric is a very good guy. You have a good person like that much love. You can see the love just by the pictures. I can send things. I see the love he has for you and the love you have for him. It's not no crazy love. Well, he could be crazy, but I see you can say the perfect couple right there. I mean, I can see the love that y'all have for one another. So it's like if I would have given someone, I said, sister, Eric, don't be hard headed with each other. Just make it happen, make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think I'm hearing you. I
Are you hearing me? Yeah.
I can hear you. Yeah, like saying everything all over again. Is something on over there?
No, there's nothing on over here.
Oh, now I hear myself, but that's okay.
Yes.
Oh wow, I can hear myself. Anyway, so yeah, my name is Aska. Abe calls me Sister Aska because you may not know this, but I'm a nun. Just kidding. Uh, but me and so I live in Brazil, and it's actually a funny story how me and Abe became friends. So I had gone through I was going through a very hard time. I had found out I had been cheated on, and I saw pictures and things, and I was down in the dumps. Actually, that the day that happened, I um I think something serious was gonna happen to me because I had like symptoms of a stroke. But anyways, then I prayed, and then it's like I felt like this warm energy, like this warm pink energy is all I can describe. And it's like all I could feel was love and forgiveness and like so much happiness. And I knew it was something spiritual because I was in a very crazy state then to going to that state of pure bliss and love in such a hard time. But anyways, but then as time went by, I realized, what happened. I went back down to that very bad energy. And I had made this friend on Light Workers of the World, right? This woman, I think her name was Michelle. I don't even know her anymore. I don't remember. But but then I think she shared one of your videos, and I remember seeing, I remember I was
I think you got muted, sister.
we're
Okay, there.
walking down the Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You were walking down a wooded path, and you're talking about maintaining a love foundation, maintaining love in your heart, and I was like, I felt a connection instantly towards you, and towards the energy that you were putting out because it was healing. I was going through something very difficult. I was holding these energies, that were not good, and then you kind of was like it really soothed me. So, anyways, I think I added you, but we never talked or anything. I would see your things here and there, and then one day, one night, and I wasn't doing very good. It was one of those nights I was thinking about everything that happened and feeling bad things. And then I sent you a message. All I said was, hey. And then you messaged me back this long message telling me everything that was going on in my life. Mind you, I hadn't shared that with anybody. I didn't even share with anybody in my family, just so you guys know. Nobody knew anything that was happening, just me. And that was really interesting. I was like, whoa, I've never seen experienced this kind of thing before. Um, Never had knew anybody who had gifts like that. But yeah, so then you told me everything that was happening, and like you told me that the person who did what they did, it wasn't them doing it. It was the dark forces that wanted to bring me down and things, and that I could not leave an opening. And you went into more details, but it was so interesting. I was like, whoa. But that was how we first contacted each other, and it's very memorable. I think it was a hard time for me, and I think it was a really hard time for you too.
Yeah, even though I was going through what I was going through spiritually, because I was going through a lot. I was getting, I was going through my own spiritual battles. But even though I was going through my own spiritual battles, I know that I'm supposed to help out my brothers and sisters. So I still continue to do those works, no matter whatever I was going through. When I hear somebody that needed help, I would assist, and that's why help we assisted Sister Aska, but at the same time, you see God works in mysterious ways. He places the people in your path also, and I believe that He placed Sister Aska in my path to help me out what I was going through. So we kind of like helped each other out spiritually,
Definitely.
because at that time I really wouldn't associate with nobody. I would keep to myself, and I think she was doing the same thing, but for some reason or other, the Heavenly Father used Sister Michelle to guide us in some kind of way so we can cross paths, and we help each other out spiritually. He helped me out. When you get spiritually attacked by an unseen force, or you're going through your own trials and tribulations that you keep to yourself because nobody might not understand what you're going through, and you have to keep it to yourself because if you say something to somebody, they're like, no, everybody's busy in life, and sometimes people don't want to hear what you have to say, what you're going through, because that's how society is right now. They don't want to hear what problems you're going through. They don't want to hear nothing. So that's why I would keep to myself, and I'm more sure that's why Sister Aska would keep to herself. And sometimes when you keep to yourself like that, it's like a heavier burden because you have all the things you're going through. You're keeping it inside instead of letting it out, and you have to let out of what you're keeping inside because, or else it's gonna hold you back from moving on forward. Uh, but yes, I guess Sister Aska, when we crossed paths, she was kind of like that voice, like when there was times that, like I said, she knows what I went through down over there in Elms Grove, where sometimes I'll get in some mood swings because of things that were happening around me, and it was at the voice of reasoning that would say, hey, calm down, or hey, remember what you say about always Maternal Love Foundation, and it was the voice of reasoning that helped me go through what I was going through, and vice versa. Uh, she
Yeah.
became a friend, and I became a friend. It's kind of like it was kind of weird because the age difference. She at the time. How old were you at the time, Sister Aska?
Huh?
How old were you at the time when we became friends?
I think I was 19.
and I was already an old cat, you know. But you see, I'm still an old cat. Uh, but but I felt that, you know, that God placed her in front of me to help her, a sister, you know, and I'm an obedient kind of guy, you know, because I know what I had already been through so much that I knew that I had her a sister. I could not deny her, giving her spiritual advice. I had to do the works because I know if I wasn't obedient and assisting her what she was going through, then the Heavenly Father could, you know, discipline me for not being obedient. So I assisted Sister Aska and we became very good friends. We've been friends now for a very long time. How old are you now, Sister Aska?
I'm 27 now. So
27. That's a lot of years.
So, it's really a beautiful thing, and you see, I mean, I know in my heart that that was spiritually planned because things like that things like these only happen a few times in life. Something that feels just right and is just like God, heaven sent, really, um, because it's like the way I was raised. I've been sheltered. I grew up in a very loving home. So that's what I know. Like I've always been very compassionate, and I think because I was raised this way, then I'm able to give that. That's what I know. That's what I give. That's who I am. So I'm naturally very positive, and if I see somebody who's not doing too good, I'm gonna want to help. I'm gonna want to do anything to cheer that person up. And at the same time I was going through so I think I offered that to you as well as
Yes.
have always been such a rock. You're a rock. You have that really strong um presence about you, and it's a very good, like, you have a very good heart. And even though we have like such different lives and upbringings, like I came from a very easygoing, easy life compared to yours. You've been through a lot of stuff. And but I think what made it happen worked made it work. That friendship was that the fact that we both have good hearts, because I know that that's a thing, you know. So but I mean, it's easy to be good. It's easy to do good when that's life is easy and things. But I really admire you for being this good while having gone through so much. That's a choice that you make every day. And I think that has to be praised, because people that has gone through what you have gone through could have easily chosen a different path. Yet choose to take care of other people. I know for a fact, every time I have asked you for help with a friend, who was going through stuff, and you just helped, for free. You were there right away. It's your mission. It's what you're here to do. You know that. I know that. I think the world knows that. It's explicit in your page and who you are. And you're just a rock, and I'm really happy that the world has you. So I just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you, sister. Thank you, and I'm happy the world has you to spread the love and the wisdom and knowledge. You know, as we get older, we learn a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and you're going to spread the love to those that come to you for seeking for help, and you're going to assist them because that's how it goes. You know, spiritually, when you experience good things, well, the Heavenly Father's going to place people in your path so you can assist spiritually. And that's what I do, the spiritual works that I do, because I don't want nobody, if I can help somebody go through to make, if they're going through something like a test or an obstacle that they're going through, and if I have the wisdom knowledge, I'm going to share the wisdom knowledge to help them come out of it faster, and guide them the right direction to be able to overcome it, you know, and in which they're going to gain wisdom and knowledge over it, and they're going to remember because they don't want to go through that. So they're going to remember to maintain a certain way. And that's what I always talk about. I always maintain a love foundation. And I've been saying that for a very long time. And sometimes I have to look at myself in the mirror. Sometimes when I'm going through something or I'm feeling a certain way, and I look and say, remember when you say I was maintaining a love foundation? Well, remember that. And I remember my words. So I have to stay a certain way. Um, we used to do works on light work. I used to do works on light workers of the world and light workers in the light feeds a long time ago. And when I was there, I was making videos, like daily videos, just about every day, till uh, somebody told me to contact the cryptic community, but because the things that I was experiencing, in which it took me out of the light workers and brought me here to. And that's why I created spiritual. The first site I had was positive spiritualist, but then I created spiritual encrypted encounter. So this is the first time Sister Aska is here on this site because she knew me from positive spiritualist. And there's many people that I've helped out, but Sister Aska is one of the persons I've been knowing the longest. And she's a very kind person, not just her, but her whole family. Very, very funny. I remember her mom one day. We was talking, we was live, and she's like, "My mom wants to ask you a question, Abe." I said, "Okay." Since you can sense things, I said, "What does she want to know?" She wants to know what is the winning numbers to win the lotto. And I'm looking at her like, I don't know, sister. I don't know about if I can be that precise, to give you some winning numbers, because if it was, I would have already been rich myself. But
And I think you could. She said that because she probably so guilty because when she was young, she had a dream about numbers. Somebody told her from the family that had passed away, told her numbers, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna play the lottery." But if it's true, then I want everybody to win. So she told everybody in her family the lottery numbers and told them to play it. And then obviously she didn't win, um, but because she told people the numbers, because it was supposed to be for her, so that's what she believed.
yeah,
Anyways, so but I remember one time that we were talking, and I asked, "Hey, guess what I'm gonna eat? Let's test your psychic abilities." And then you said, "See, I don't know." And then you said, "I'm seeing like a pastry thing," and then you went on to give the details. And then I remember thinking in my head, "Oh, that's wrong. We don't have that at home." Anyways, I was like, "I'll let you know if it's right or not." And then I went upstairs. When I look, there was a damn pastry. And like, what were the odds? Because we never ate that at home. And then I was like, no, 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 he's definitely got ideas. Not to mention the fact that we would, every time we would do a call, you knew what I was thinking, what I was feeling. And I was like, what? This is possible? Like, no way. But every time, and then I would test you too. I asked, so what am I thinking right? What am I feeling? And then you would tell me, and it was accurate. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to watch out. Had it been anybody else, because I have to admit, like, I'm not, the most ill intended. Like, I'm a pretty simple person, and I don't. I'm very honest, mostly with what I think and feel. So like, had you kept that information to yourself and were I a different person, I would have been thinking all sorts of things, feeling all sorts of things. You would have known. I would never have known that you knew, and you would have known I was a fake.
yeah.
That's why I
Sometimes,
think you have to be careful with who you talk to, because you never know what kind of gift they have.
yes, it's just that when the Heavenly Father blesses you a certain way, and I had already been through some trials and tribulations, and I came out of those trials and tribulations where I was somewhere else, and I crossed over, and I got blessed to come back here into this world. When I came back, it's like when you're blessed that way to come back to your body and to continue to live life, it's like it comes with a blessing, and as I've gone through those kind of things, I've gained a lot of spiritual knowledge in that manner, that I can sense things and see things. But it's a spiritual gift, that you get blessed with, and we all get blessed with it. It depends how. That's why I always tell everybody, if you have any kind of hatred or unforgiveness, it's best you let the hatred go. It's best you let the unforgiveness go. because once you do that, then those negative attachments are gone, and then become whole with love, and by being obedient, and forgiven, then those spiritual gifts, God blesses you with those kind of abilities, because the opportunity is there, because you're maintaining a love foundation, and your love foundation is strong, so He blesses you because you're maintaining it. In this world, it's hard to maintain a love foundation sometimes. We run into some people that try to see if they can come into our into to affect our minds or to affect our hearts, but you know, it's like, to me, I tell people, whenever that happens to you, put it to a test. When somebody negative comes to you in some kind of way, shape, or form, tell them, God bless you. Tell them, I love you. And when you do that, you're going to see that it's not the individual that's a bad person. You're going to be spiritually blessed. You're going to be able to see that it's something else working behind that to cause, how should I say, like a friendship to break up or a relationship to break up, because that's what he wants. He don't want nobody to be happy. He don't want nobody to be in love, because love is the greatest gift of all spiritual gifts. Without love, all the other spiritual gifts don't exist. So that's what the unseen forces that work in this world, in this planet, that are effective daily. That's what he tries to do. He tries to interfere on just on a personal love foundation, but when you have love to one another, you love somebody. He tries to break up that unity, because he don't want that happiness. He don't want that. That feeling, Sister Aska, when you're happy and you're having fun and you seeing that person, you get the eyes to them. They give you the eyes, and that feeling of warmth in your heart, and that you feel happy and that you're being loved. Well, those are the things that happen sometimes, that it wants division. So that's what when something like that is happening, that's where you have to go to say, I love you, God bless you, and show that image. Also, if there's something there that might be negative, it'll go away, because, or if it gets to the point that it's that bad, then the person is really literally something's happened to them. Then you go to, I rebuke in the name of Jesus Christ, and be gone. Whatever's there, and when it's gone, and you're gonna see the change in the individual. That's why I always say, I don't have nothing against nobody, or anybody that's come up against me in any kind of way. I consider everybody brothers and sisters in Christ, um, and that's how I feel about everything in life. We have to continue to do good, the good deeds.
It's funny, seeing where we are at now, because back then I remember, we were kind of down in the dumps.
Yeah,
You didn't think you're gonna find anybody anymore. You thought you're destined to be alone for the rest of your life. I was, pretty much same thing. Oh my God, so silly, so young, and but you too, so many years ahead of us, hopefully, and
yeah,
which we did. But thinking that was it, that was gonna be how it would be forever, and here we are now, and you've met your soulmate, and
and got married.
I've met my soulmate as well, and yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
wasn't
the beauty of life,
expecting.
I think.
I thought, when you're going through so much in life, that was it. That was gonna be my mission. If I were to go out, I would go out, shoot pool, and then go right back home, because I was a single father. So I really wasn't thinking about trying to meet nobody or nothing like that. It was all about raising my son. You know, you remember how young he was, Sister Aska? It was about
Yeah,
him. My life was about him. So even though I might have felt sick or whatever, I had to keep on going. I couldn't give up, because I had to be there for my son. If I don't continue to live life,
you're
then
always there.
who's gonna take care of my son, right? So I had to stay strong, mentally, physically, and spiritually, to continue to move on forward for him. And that's what it did. And then in 2015, that's when I met Maria. That's now Messias, that brought happiness into my life. Uh, something that I don't think I was ever going to come into my life. It happened, but and you were right. You said there's going to be a day that something like that was going to happen to me. You said, no, this I don't think that's going to happen because it hasn't happened. Then I guess it wasn't the right time, right?
And and here's a lesson for all of us. We don't know. I don't know the day of tomorrow. If I ever go through that again, well, may I remember, and may whoever else is feeling like they can't find a person, there's nobody out there for them. Well, I think twice about that because life changes.
Yes.
I was gonna say today. Oh, yeah, and we have to be grateful because sometimes, I think I told you about this book I read one time where this guy he had a mission, very important mission to bring information. He was writing, he was channeling a book, and he was on the path, with light beings helping him to write this book and things. That was his mission. And then he met this woman, he fell in love, and then as she ended up breaking his heart and betraying him, and turns out, she was sent from the dark spirits to get in the way of him writing the book, which it really it kind of delayed the book about 8 months. And so that's not you. You've been in a long relationship now for a long time, stable relationship. Maria's amazing, I know, and so are you. So it's obviously not that. So it's really special to actually have a supportive partner, somebody who gets you.
Yes. At first, you wouldn't understand the spiritual side of things because everybody's one person, but now it's like she's seeing it. As she's with me now, we're together. She's able to witness certain events that happen to me where I cross paths with people in certain situations, and she's like, "How could this be?" I give an example of one that happened to me. Got 3 months, 4 months ago. I was walking at nighttime, doing exercise. I was walking, and as I was walking back, and I hadn't hit the main road. And as I was walking, I was doing a live video. I was walking, and as I got close to the main road, the camera just kept on flipping over like this. And when it flipped, you could see this car pass right in front of me at a high speed, and at that location, there's a stop sign. You're supposed to take a left. Well, this person didn't see the stop sign, and they hit the curb and flew like 100 feet into the ditch. So, me, Aska, I'm like, I'm a type of person, I'm going to go help. So I'm looking to see the person who was arrested. So I'll go follow where the vehicle landed. And it was a older woman. She was like 65 years old. And told her if she was okay. She said she was okay. So when I looked at her front tires, both of them were blown out. And I told her that I would stay there till she would get some help. So as I told her that, I called Maria and I told her what had happened with the lady, and she said she was on her way because she didn't want her to get scared because I was a guy and I was there with her and it was dark, pitch dark. So she comes and we're waiting there and we tell her that we'll wait there till her son comes to assist her. But the way she got there was that her husband was in the hospital and at the Hillcrest Hospital in Waco, and they transported her from there to the VA hospital. So she was coming. She saw that road would go to the Bucky's that was up ahead. But the Bucky's, that wasn't the road to Bucky's. She was the wrong road, and sometimes things like that happen for a reason. But and then I started talking to her spiritually. I pray for her and for her husband to for healing and protection of her husband, for everything to come out all right. And she was just laughing about the situation. I mean, the tires were flat. And this is what she told me, joking around. She's like, I'm glad you wasn't on the road because I would have taken you for a free ride. And the car would have hit me, and But sometimes things happen. I believe when the camera went back and forth by itself, you know, that there was a higher power working there. It stopped my momentum of moving forward. The stride that I had is I'm from taking the stride because I'm looking at the camera trying to figure out what's going on, and then that happened. So there's always the Heavenly Father looking out for us, whether He wants to or not. He's there for us, and that's what how He was there for me that day.
Yeah.
How you
So,
doing, brother? Moses?
um, do you remember too that prediction you had that that you saw with the families and things and
Oh
things that you
yes,
mentioned?
yes. I had told Sister Aska that something was going to happen. There was something big going to happen that was going to affect everybody around the world. That's going to affect her. It was going to affect me. And what I was talking about was what I seen was like an unseen force was going to come. Unseen force was going to come and it's going to affect everybody. There's going to be people that are going to be sick. And we talked about this, you know, and it's here. It's been happening. And I believe it has to do with fear. You know, it's if you give something an opening to fear because of what's being told to you, and there's other forces that are around us that can affect us in that way. Other spiritual forces uh, that those are openings. The fear is an opening for us to get spiritually attacked. And so on forth, you see our government here in the United States. That's all they do: fear monger. You see the news fear mongering and hospitals fear mongering, doctors fear mongering. You know, through this COVID. I'm trying to see
Yeah.
if yeah, I think we are in the yes. So there's a lot of that right now happening, which there's some people that forget about their faith. You know, you gotta have faith, faith over fear. You gotta have that faith, and you gotta maintain that faith, no matter what. I was sick, I got sick, my son got sick, but even though I had high fevers and everything, I know within myself, I had to maintain my faith and not let the fevers or whatever I was going through overcome me, and I'm still here. You know, I'm feeling better. I overcame it. So me personally, honestly, I believe our immune system is strong enough to overcome anything. But I think it's a lot of fear mongering going. Like I went to my appointment and the doctor came at me in a negative way right off the bat. You know, telling me about the statistics of how many people are dead and all this stuff. You know, I said, what does that have to do with my medicines that I'm taking? That has nothing to do with what I'm here for. You know, so she was using fear mongering to try to go get me to do the COVID shots. But what she didn't tell me is the nurse told me that after you get diagnosed with COVID, you have to wait 3 months. But then I found out from somebody else that it's actually you have to wait 6 months. So which one is it? The doctor wanted me to go right off the bat. Was it the one with the 3 months or the one for the 6 months? So to me,
Three
it's
months
like
or 6 months to what?
the doctor wanted me to take a shot immediately. But you see, before I talked to the doctor, I talked to the nurse. The nurse told me that I had to wait 3 months before I took the COVID shot because I was exposed to it. But then somebody else told me that their doctor told them they have to wait 6 months before they take the COVID shot. So, and then so how about this? We just don't worry about the taking it ASAP. We don't worry about taking it 3 months from now or 6 months from now. Just maintain the faith and keep on going forward. And I believe a lot of the shots are affecting a lot of people in negative ways. And that's part of the fear mongering. They try to scare you to do something because they try to put the fear on you. But you see, what people don't understand is fear is a spiritual opening. When and that's the government, the news. I don't watch the news. I don't pay attention to whoever's in power. I don't do that no more. I just worry about maintaining the love foundation and I'm the one. I'm the one that only allows what goes in my heart, and I choose love to come into my heart. And that's why I'm here doing this video with Sister Aska. She's a very loving person. She's always been, and like I said before, I'm happy that she's engaged with her fiance Eric. He's a good man, and I could see the love there that they have amongst each other, and I was happy for them. I never got to experience that at their age because when I was their age, well, he's in the military too. It was all business. It was all about the military. But I know that he loves you, and I know that it will be a beautiful union when you decide that day to unite as one. I think it's going to be very beautiful, and your mom, your dad, and everybody in your family is going to be very, very happy. And there's going to be a little bit of crying, or maybe a lot of crying, but it's going to be a crying of happiness. That's what I believe.
Yeah, and um, something I was gonna say is that yeah, right now, just so I don't forget, what you were talking to me about before the Eric thing, um, this is something I realized a couple of days ago. I've been on social media and seen all the lying and all the manipulation and all the deceit and all the people who buy into it, which everybody has the right to. We have to understand that we've all been ignorant to things. That is a natural process of life. That is why we are on this earth. We're here to um, grow past our ignorance, and we're each at different levels, and that's a natural thing of life. And however, when I was, and I think it's something that a lot of us experience, um, we are out there exposed to the thoughts of people who can only see like this, can only see that what the media is like showing them and things. And while media is important, we have to watch out to who we're listening to, because whether we like it or not, we know everything in this world lately is about money and power, money and power. So we have to understand that we are the ones in charge of and better able to find the truth. Don't expect to listen to it, to hear it from the guy who needs your money, and needs, it's not going to happen. So, while in the midst of all these misinformations and things, it's so easy to get frustrated. It's so easy to feel anger and to get aggravated and to try to tell a person, because you care, you try to tell them what you believe it actually, is actually the situation. But they have their own beliefs and they're not going to listen to you. And anyway, so it's very stressful. It lowers your energy. At the end of the day, you can't help even yourself, much less somebody else. So what I realized a couple of days ago is that we cannot be focused on other people right now. We need to focus on ourselves. The best we can do right now in this moment on earth is to hold light, hold love. And we're not going to be able to do it while being constantly bombarded with like negative content. That's right now social media is mostly, I'd say, a tool for to lower vibrations, just like a lot of news channels. It's only negative stuff, only negative stuff. Be afraid of this. Somebody got raped down your street. Like, you can't. I already live in a place that's unsafe, and all these years that I've lived here, honestly, I feel like the only reason nothing has ever happened to me that's bad, and I've always been protected, is one, because of my energy, because although I'm aware and I take certain precautions, I always have this. I choose to believe that I'm protected, and because I deserve to be protected. I think all of us do, and I believe that. I hold that belief, so I think that becomes a reality. And I do believe also in guardian angels, and but we need right now to focus on our own journey and hold light, hold love, forget everything else. Don't think of other people, because we cannot change other people. We can hardly change ourselves. It's so hard to grow. We know this. So I just really wanted to put that message out there. Focus on yourself. It's not selfish. You can only help others if you help yourself first. So if you build up that light inside of you, you're gonna have it in abundance to share with the world. You know, it radiates through you, and so that's the best thing you can do for everyone. Stop watching. You know, stop doing the things that you know will get you aggravated and lower your vibration. I want to say that.
That's very true,
And
sister. Very true. That's what I do. I always I'm always smiling when I'm out there having fun, you know, and I'm a 10 Love Foundation, you know. I just that's the
you're,
key right
sorry
there.
to interrupt you real quick. You're like the most stable, one of the most stable people I know. You know, since the, since I was 19, you've been saying that, and you've been showing that, and you've been practicing that, and you're a rock. I'm telling you, you're definitely my rock, and you're a rock. You are a tree. Anything that's stable, that's what you are, and it's really beautiful, you know, and um, what you do, and that energy is felt. You know, that energy makes a difference. It impacts people, it impacts me, it helps me. And so yeah, it's just crazy to think how consistent you are for so long. And not only you're consistent, but you also manage to grow. Like, you're definitely not the same person I knew. How many years exactly is it? Almost 10 years soon, right? So anyways, so yeah, you grow, you know, you grow so much. And yeah,
We've all
sorry
grown
to interrupt you. I
spiritually.
just wanted to say that.
Yes, yeah, we've all grown spiritually, and I see the change with you, and you've grown spiritually. I already knew that you was going to be growing spiritually, but you know, I knew that the hard times were going to come for everybody, and it is happening right now. There's things with the government's trying to take control of the people, like they want to micromanage or population control. It's not just happening here in the United States, it's happening everywhere. It's happening in Brazil where you live, you know, it's happening everywhere. They want full population control, you know, like they want to have everybody like puppets. Uh, they want you to, they say move to the left, they want you to move to the left. And that's what's happening, Sister Aska. A lot of control in that manner. You know, when we were making the video, I think we might not be on that the spiritual side, because I'm seeing people popping up here that are on my friends list. So I don't know that we're even on the site itself that we're supposed to be on. That's what it seems like to me.
Oh, really?
But that's
Hey,
okay.
nothing happens for a reason. I mean, everything happens for
Everything
a
happens for a
reason. So
reason. It's okay. You know, everybody needs to talk a little bit spiritual. But yeah, for those who know me, they know me as Abe. They know me that I was in the army. But what they don't know about me is I'm a spiritual person. I've been a spiritual person for a very long time. So when I go out, you know, I go to have a good time just to exercise. I go dancing. I love to dance uh, and do the works that I do spiritually, you know. And for those who don't know, this coming Friday, that whoever's tuning in here, this coming Friday on the Travel Channel, me and my sister are going to come out on These Woods Are Haunted at 8 to
hey,
9
Aska.
p.m. here in Central Texas on the Travel Channel. This coming Friday on the September 17th, we'll be there on the
You're
Travel
talking to
Channel
a
on an
celebrity.
episode of the Travel Channel. So whoever y'all invited to come and tune in, whoever's here, is an
Definitely gonna
experience.
find a way to watch it.
It's an experience that happened not just to me, but to my family when we lived in Elms Grove Estates Park in Killeen, Texas. You know, and that's when I met Sister Ashka when I used to live there, and we crossed paths in that manner because I was doing spiritual works because of the things that I was going through there. So it's going to be very interesting. It's something you don't want to miss. And I believe I want to see how good they did of a job of producing this. But I will be on that episode 2. This was on season 3 of This Was a Haunted. Is this Friday, September the 17th. It will be coming out at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Whoever wants to tune in. Yes,
I
sister.
never thought I'd
I
know a
was looking at
celebrity.
the names popping up, and I was like, wait a moment, those are all from people from my friends, but that's so fine. That's fine.
I was saying I never thought I would know a celebrity in my life. I'm honored. Somebody who's been on TV. I'm so happy.
It's just a
Finally.
little episode. The way that happened, me coming on the episode is I had made a. Well, I'll talk about that too. Uh, I had an experience, right? So they told me to contact this podcast guy named Mr. Vic Kundos. So I did a show with him that comes out on YouTube, and it's called Dogman Encounters, and it's number 53, episode 53. That's what happened to me there. But when I did that, that was a long time ago. So then after that, I started meeting all these people that want to do their podcast, and I'm doing all these shows. That's why you really didn't see me that much, Sister Aska, because I was busy trying to do God's work in that manner. And so, well, if I can bring the spiritual perspective, talking about how these cryptids, people call them cryptids. Whoever don't know what a cryptid is, you got Bigfoot, you got Dogman, you got Mothman, you got Goatman, you got all these cryptids that people say they've eyewitnessed. And the reason I come at it in a spiritual perspective is because I believe those to be, again, y'all don't know what the washers are. The washers were the ones that slept with women here on earth. They were the angels in which they created the disembodied Nephilim, or should I say the Nephilim. That's why the earth got flooded, because of the Nephilim. So once they got flooded and the Nephilim died, they became disembodied body because they were part angel, or at that time, they were demon. So those are the forces that are working against us right now here. That's the unseen forces. For example, through the fear, I believe those are the forces that are getting a lot of people sick right now, and they're trying to blame it on COVID, but I believe it's deeper than that. And I believe, if you have that opening of fear, it's going to come and attack, because it's like an open door. You're inviting it in. So that's why I always say maintain the love foundation. So I try to bring the spiritual aspect out of it. And the problem that I'm having right now is there's people that in the crypto community don't like me bringing the spiritual aspect out of it, because they want these things to be real. But what they don't understand is if you believe in it and it's something demonic and you believe in it, well, then you're leaving an opening for yourself to get spiritually attacked by the unseen force. To this day, that as far as I know, there has never been no cryptid that they mentioned ever been caught. There's no existence of a body being found or nothing like that. I hear stories where people take shots at this, whether it be a Bigfoot, and they shoot at them and nothing happens. Why is nothing going to happen? Because they're not here in the flesh. They're spirit form, disembodied, Nephilim. That's why I consider them, and since they're part angels, they have the abilities to shapeshift, to take different forms. Has anybody ever heard, like, sometimes the name being called out by,
Heard of
I
what?
don't know, when your name is being called out of the blue, like you could hear somebody say Aska, like I've heard when somebody says Abram. Well, I don't want to spoil this which are haunted, so I'm just going to leave it at that and about that. But all I'm saying is the disembodied Nephilim, they could shapeshift, and they could take forms of anything, like these cryptid creatures that I'm talking about. They can take a form of me and you, or somebody you might know, or somebody that's not even here anymore. They have those abilities to mimic. They're like mimickers, they're tricksters. But they want the main goal is for you. They want you to believe in them, because it doesn't matter if they're tricking you with what you believe in. They just trying to want you to get it to believe in them, and you believe in them. Then boom, there's the opening. They're gonna come and attack you spiritually, and it's just about enough Nephilim. They're here on Earth, which people know them as demons. They're here just to find a host, to attach yourself to a body. That's why I was giving you the description earlier. Like sometimes when somebody's mad at you, it might not be them, so don't take it personal on them. What you do is say, "I love you" or "God bless you," and if when you say that, you'll be able to see where he moves, whatever's there moves, because They don't like love. Love overcomes all, right? And that's why they leave. So that's just a test for anybody that has a good heart. Put it to the test. If you're in a situation, it doesn't matter if it's somebody you don't know that you this at the grocery store or something. Put it to a test. You know, with the Love Foundation, put it to a test. When somebody comes at you in a native way, tell them God bless you, or tell them I love you, and you're gonna be able to see a difference in them, and then you're gonna know that there is this unseen force is out here working to try to cause havoc, like we've been seeing for years now. Havoc. It wants destruction. It don't want peace. It wants hatred. It wants vengeance. It don't want love in the picture. Uh, because they feed off of that. They feed off all that negativity.
All the
And how do they feed
fear right
off of
now.
us? They feed off of us. If we have the anger, the vengeance, the hatred, so those kind of openings, it feeds off of us, out of our energy, you know, and that's why they're called disembodied Nephilim because they try to attach themselves to you. And people know us as possessions, right? Imagine imagine this. I'll give you all a story. I was walking down the highway, the 190 there near the old airport, and I see a man walking on the side of the road. He's walking on the side of the road. So I'm walking to the store, and he's walking on the opposite side of the freeway. Next thing you know, this man gets elevated in the air and gets dropped. And I'm looking, he gets picked up on the ground again and gets dropped by an unseen force. So I'm there looking, and I walk fast and get turned up to him, and I said, "Sir, are you okay?" And I'm walking past him, "Sir, are you okay?" And he just laid out by the rail of the bridge. So I cross a bridge, and I'm in the middle of the bridge, and there's no rails there. It's just a cement thing there. So I'm standing in the middle of the bridge, and I said, "Sir, do you need help?" He's not responding to me, and I'm looking at him, and he gets up real slowly, and he starts stumbling towards me, and I said, "Sir, do you need help?" He was an African American guy. He was an older man, and I said, "Sir, do you need help?" And he gets in front of me, and he looks at me, and like when he came to me, he was walking real slow because of the falls that he had, right, when he got dropped. And this is what he tells me. He told me, "Next time I see you, I'm going to kill you." That's exactly what he tells me. So I ignored
Um,
what he told me because of what I seen that happened to him, that an unseen force attacked him. So I felt that I had helped him out spiritually. So I stood on the bridge, and we're standing looking at each other. I said, "Sir, do you need help? Come with me." And he's like, "Next time I see you, I'm going to kill you." Keeps on repeating the same thing over and over. So I let him follow me. We went to the store. There was believe a Family Dollar. And I said, "Sir, wait right here by the counter for me." So as I'm getting him water and I'm blessing the water, I'm saying the Our Father because I seen the unseen force attack him. He goes to the clerk and tells him, "What's your name?" And she said her name, and he told her, "Next time I see you, I'm gonna kill you." So it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't worry about him. I found him on the bridge. He hit his head. He don't know what he's saying. I'm just trying to help him out. So I gave him the water. He opened up the water and he drank the water. Uh, and when he drank the water, he became himself. It's like whatever was there because I prayed over the water. I blessed the water. He drank the water and he became himself. And he looks at me and he's saying, "Oh, thank you, a friend, for the water." But he don't remember me helping him from the bridge on all the way to the Family Dollar. He just thought I bought him a water, but he don't remember nothing else. But those are the kind of forces that those are kind of the spiritual battles that like helping up people when they're going through something like that. It happened for a reason, I guess, that it happened right in front of me. It's not the first or the last time I've ever helped an individual like that. But I'm thinking that if I wouldn't have helped them, something that force, just like it picked them, I could have dragged them into the woods, and only God knows what had happened to them. But I took them to safety.
yeah, people, like we really, I think there's one thing we need to understand about, like in this life, is that everything is possible. Don't doubt anything. From the beginning of my spiritual journey, since I was little till now, I've been learning things that one thing after the other that I thought was never possible, and today they make sense. Today they are possible, and today I know they're real. And so that's something like a lot of those things that you mentioned. A lot of times people will be like, "Oh, he's crazy," you know. I should get some water, but anyways, to like, "Oh, he's crazy." That's not possible because you haven't lived it. But I'm not I'm grown enough to know that that's not a smart way to live.
You can get some water, sister, if you like. Go get some water and come back.
All right, I'll get some water because my throat.
Oh, okay.
1 second.
How you doing, brother David, sister Mickey, cousin Francine? How you doing? We're just gonna do this live feed on a group that I have on Facebook called Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. And for some reason we went up here, but that's okay. We're just going through it. You know, I'm gonna share it to that group. But it's a group that I created. I've been having that group, but then my account got it permanently deleted, right? So as it got permanently deleted, I had to build. The group was still there. I just had to put the pictures I had in there and stuff like that. Like I said before, whoever don't know is this coming week on This Woods Are Haunted on the Travel Channel. It's gonna be season 3, episode 2. Me and my sister are gonna come out on that show this coming Friday between 8 and 9 on the Travel Channel. So you tune in, guys. Tune in. But yes, you know, I'm more sure that everybody that's here viewing, they've experienced something in their life in that manner, and they understand exactly what we're talking about. But no, those are the tests and obstacles that we go through in life. You know, it's about what we're going to do in those situations. No, what was I going to do in a situation when I seen that man getting picked up and dropped by nonsense? Was I'm going to run away, or I'm going to help him, or leave him? Well, you know, I believe is it was. I already know what I had to do. Is go help him because that's what I'm supposed to do.
You're the bravest person I know because you do things that I've never seen other people do. And the thing is, a lot of people, you know, who will like go on ghost adventures or something. A lot of those people, they don't even believe it. They go for a joke, as a joke, just as a challenge, just like watching scary movies and things. It's always to like challenge yourself. But uh, you see things, you hear things, you've seen a lot of things, and to help and to to help, you go through things that are crazy, and you are very brave. And
There's,
it's what I told you, you know, the other time that we talked. Um, in the Afro-Brazilian religion that you know here, and there are beings who work for the light, and I told you this, but they work for the light, but they have to be doing the dirty work. They have to whenever there are like a council that takes place, the council will do a meeting and decide what's going to happen, you know, to a person, what karmically what's going to happen to them. These beings, and they're called Ishu, they are the ones responsible for making that karma happen, be it good or be it bad. If it's a bad karma, they're gonna do what it is that they need to do because um, it's not that black and white. Um, you know, like good like angels only, or I don't know. Only angels work for the
it's
light.
about the balance, you know, the yin
Yeah.
yang. People call yin yang. There's the balance, you know, and it's a spiritual battle daily, you know. But I believe it's within us to overcome us. As we're all children of God, we can overcome anything. You know, it's that's how I became strong through every obstacle that I went through, every spiritual battle that I went through. It just made me stronger. Gained more wisdom and knowledge, and I know exactly what to do in certain situations. So it made me a stronger person spiritually, in which you know we have the ability just to say if we see something or something's coming our way in a spiritual manner to affect us or try to do something. All we have to say is I tie, bind, and rebuke you in Jesus' name. Through the true faith, true belief with the Love Foundation, whatever is there is going to go away because we're children of God and we have that opportunity to make it into the kingdom of heaven. Uh, I know there's this word you cannot say too much because they'll try to ban you from Facebook. So I'm just going to say sometimes there's people that get deceived and to take their lives. I'll just say it like that, to take their lives. And imagine what they might be going through and how many people they might have reached out to for help. But every time somebody looked at them, they looked at them and say, "Oh, they're crazy or they're on drugs or something." But what if the person was going through something spiritual and they needed the spiritual help, right? And
That happened to
and
my
that
friend. That exact circumstances happened to my friend Cody. He this guy went through a lot in his life. He went through a lot. He was homeless most of his life. He's had to deal with like his mom was on drugs. Like his mom, oh my gosh, like the guy went through everything. Did all sorts of drugs. I think at one point, um, and but he got past it. However, he was still struggling with something. He was a alcoholic. That was his main thing. Um, but so yeah, so I was always, always made sure to be able to be there for him, because he was suicidal a lot, and I would try to cheer him up. And but he there was this time where he seemed to be just fine, and that's when he actually committed. I don't. We don't know really what happened. Apparently, he overdosed, but I don't know if it was intentional or not. He wanted to take his life or not, but that's happening. And he really was having like seen a lot of stuff. A couple months before that happened, he was like, "Oh my God!" Like he was, and I'm pretty sure, he was he had some spirits or beings, entities, whatever you want to call it, trying to get
yes,
him to commit suicide. And but yeah, he was a really good guy. He had a tough life, but even though he had so little, he always shared whatever he did have. He always thought of other people. He was really sensitive, and I was even surprised that he made it this far in life, being as sensitive and as loving as he was, while going through so much. Because what he went through was not a joke, and he would see things as well. If it wasn't for the fact that I experienced, like, you're the first psychic experiences that I've witnessed. I have heard of things, but I never actually knew anybody with those gifts personally. And but then you told me everything that was happening in my life, without me telling you anything, and then you knew what I was feeling and things. It's like I remember one of the times that we talked, like I was going through stuff, but I still had a smile on my face. But you knew, and then you asked me in details, did something happen? And then you went into details about it, and I'm like, what? Anyways, so but yeah, people are being targeted heavily right now, and the only way to avoid that, to not be subject to that, is to hold that high vibration. That's the only way. That's why that is basically what's behind the you praying for somebody and somebody getting better, um, healing the water, and putting certain energies into the water, and it having an effect, because we are energy, and the only way to overcome this stuff right now is light and love, and that's our weapon. That is our
yes.
weapon. That is our protection. That is everything we need to
Because,
focus on right
yeah, it's a unseen force like we talked about a long time ago when we first met that something was going to happen in this nature like this. It's been happening, but as we maintain the Love Foundation, we can overcome it with love. Uh,
now.
I overcame what I went through like the past 3 weeks. I survived that. My son survived it too. Um, just have to stay positive, thinking positive, and maintain love foundation. Instead of knowing a lot of people in the past that I knew when I was in the military that went through things like that, it's a what the person allows in their heart, basically, and nobody's perfect. It's just sometimes we have to pay attention to the people around us, because you don't know what they might be going through, and maybe you just need somebody to reach out for them to assist them, to help them, give them some advice, but in that manner, that's how we can help out one another as brothers and sisters in Christ. Is listen to another, talk, give us spiritual advice to one another, and do the good works. Just like you do good works, I do good works. I believe we all should do some kind of good works in life. Be an example or a beacon of light to continue to do the works. I went from doing spiritual works on spiritual networks, going to where I was led to go into the sites where there's cryptids, and I'm doing some spiritual work there, and I'm getting some. The people there don't like that. They don't like me bringing the spiritual aspect of it. That what they might be seeing is something spiritual. So what has happened is the same people. There's a lot of them involved with this. What they did is they went and reported my other Facebook account that I had, and it got permanently deleted off Facebook. So they didn't know I had a backup account, so I had to open up my backup account, and I had to rebuild my sites, all the pictures that got taken out of the sites. I rebuilt them, and now they were trying to do it again. They were trying to infiltrate my group that I've created, Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. They try to come in, infiltrate the group, and like I said before, wherever they know, this Friday, when This Was Our Haunted, September the 17th, me and my sister are going to come out on This Was Our Haunted on season 3, episode 2, from 8 to 9. But yes, that's it can happen that way. You get infiltrated, and then you start seeing all these bots. Whoever's got a group, you might understand where I'm coming from. You got all these fake profiles where it's got one picture and it really don't say nothing, or there's people that come and they'll infiltrate your group pretending to be your friend and stuff like that. But then when you look, I already know the source of who's coming up against me because they already gave up their identity accidentally. So I already know who it is. And all these people that are affiliated, I call them puppets, right? The reason I call them puppets is because if that person's in charge of them and they're following that person's orders, then they can think for themselves. So they're being controlled by this puppet master, I'm not going to say the name that I was calling this puppet master. I already know who he is. And the problem he has with me is that I told him there was this incident that happened where this individual had a fallout with this other guy, and he wanted me to take his side over the other guy. And the other guy was the creator, the person that I did the first episode, which was Dogman Encounters 53, Mr. Vic Condoff. He wanted me to take his side, and I thought, look, I'm a spiritual guy. I'm neutral. I can't take just your side. I consider everybody a brother and sister in Christ. So, I believe it doesn't matter what path you're on, we're all brothers and sisters in Christ. So I cannot choose your side. I have to stay neutral. So he didn't like that response. He even threatened me, said that watch out who you say certain things to because things can come back your way. Well, guess what? He came back my way. I've been knowing it's been him. But you see, I try to continue to spread the word in the community. But yeah, he's got a personal vendetta against me, and he's sending all these people to come up against me. But I'm not worried about it because I've battled worse things than a person that's got an ego, that's got all his puppets, right? I battled stronger. Well, just put it this way: I battle other things that are a lot worse than him. So I'm not worried about the guy. I just tell the guy, look, if you're listening, like you could be listening to this video right now or later on, I tell him, look, just leave me alone, move on. Leave me alone, move on, and that's it. Why do you keep on sending your people, your puppets after me? You know, on Facebook is it's dirty. There's a lot of what do you call it? Computer warriors that try to get you in trouble. I call them trolls, nerds, or whatever they're called. But yeah, it's funny because it's funny to me because I was in the prior military, I was a sergeant, and I know exactly who it is, and I just go with the flow. Not that I play their game, but I continue to do the works that I do. Look where we went up, Sister Aska. We went out here on my Facebook doing this video. I really thought that this video was gonna be when you entered. Where did you go to? You went to Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, right? Or you just joined me?
I think so, yeah.
You went into Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, right?
I think so. Let me see if I can see.
No, well, I don't know. If, I don't, no, yeah. That's why I thought. That's why I thought we met there, and look where we are right now. We're might be somewhere else, or not unless these people that are joining can see the live on my live feed because I got the group is a public, so they might be able to see it in public, and they're seeing us talk. So I'm thinking we're still there, but if not, that's okay. But those are the things that I was going through, that I've been going through with these people. It's like, man, come on, y'all got better things to do. Just leave me alone, let me be.
I would give an advice. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time trying to mess with Abe. It's a waste of time. Abe always overcomes everything in his life. I told you another day. You're like even. Oh gosh, this is gonna sound bad, but I mean it in a nice way. Uh, you're like better than a cockroach. You cannot be. Everybody will die. Everybody will, the world will end, and you're still here because that's how strong you are. There's no messing with you. So it's.
Yeah. So
it's like that. Like you're the most consistent person, and you don't give up. So.
Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. Like those people. They don't want to hear the truth. And what's sad is I know this individual. This individual when I did Dogman Encounters 53, they came to my house there in Elms Grove. Him and his wife came to my house, And what happened is when they came to their house, his wife is supposed to be a medium or clairvoyant, or whatever you want to call them. And Mr. Big Condom had sent them to come investigate, right? Because they were working for Mr. Big Condom. So as soon as I told them if they were spiritually prepared, because I already knew what was there because I lived there. So the wife got off, and as soon as she started walking in the park, right, she felt her energy get drained right off the bat. She said she couldn't go there, so he had to help her go into the truck. I took him into the woods because he said he didn't believe in none of that, right? I took him to the area and came out of the area. I was already prepared, I had already done the sign of the cross, I had already done the Our Father. Because I already know who was in the area. So when they left, this is what I believe, that she got spiritually attacked and an attachment was upon her, and he got spiritually attacked and the attachment is on him too. That's why he is the way he is now, because he wasn't like that. He's changed, and I believe he's got the negative attachment. The negative attachment got both of them bonded, and they don't want. This is what happens. There was this other gentleman, let him rest in peace. That came and assist me also. That Mr. Vic Condon said, and he came to investigate, and he witnessed something. So the difference was that he told Vic Condon what he witnessed. And this other individual didn't say to Vic Condon what happened to his wife, that she got spiritually attacked. He didn't say that. So then they went separate ways. They were working together. They went separate ways. They broke up because one of them wanted the other guy to lie, to take because I said on the show, on episode 53 of Dogman Encounters, episode 53, that I believe it was a demonic force working there. Well, his wife got spiritually attacked. He didn't want, and that's all the fallout between them two. And then when Mr. Big kind of, he tried to blame it on something else, but it was a negative attachment. When he left Elms Grove Mobile Home Park, the negative attachment left with him. Whatever was there left with him and his wife, and that's why he's causing all this chaos. And that's what I'm calling it. I'm saying he's got a negative attachment on him, and he might be demonized, and that's why he stirs up a lot of things, and he tries to talk bad about people, and he has all these people following him, saying that are blind. They don't see. I mean, they know him. They follow him. They know there's something wrong with him. Because when you have to say something negative about people, or you send people to their way to do cause havoc, there's something wrong with this guy. I wish I could help him, or I could get, but he don't want the help. He's being bonded by that negative force or negative energy. So that's why I'm fighting. I'm not fighting spiritually, but in this way, it's kind of like spiritually, because as a negative person or somebody that might be bonded, they're sending people my way. But beside him, getting them out of the way, we're not here because of him. We're just here to talk about how it's important to maintain a love foundation. With the love foundation that I have, I overcome people like him and overcome any spiritual battle or obstacle that comes my way. Just like Sister Aska, she's the same way. She's learned, and she's grown spiritually in a big, massive way, and she continues to grow. And for all whoever's here real late, Sister Aska is from Brazil, and we met when she was 19 years old through a spiritual site. We crossed paths and we made contact with each other. I helped her out spiritually, and then later on, she helped me out spiritually when I was going through things, and it's been that way. We help out. It's a spiritual thing, and Sister Aska got engaged today with her Marine. He's in the Marines, right?
He left.
Oh, he left. Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
he was
know.
for 10 years. So
10 years.
yeah, he joined 18. Yeah.
Well, that's around the same time frame I left. 10 years. I did 10 years, and that was it. I guess you get tired of it, and putting your life on the line like that, and they want you to be obedient. Whatever they tell you, they want you to do. But well, I'm glad that he's out, and that he's out, and he's going to be able to be. He's a veteran. He's a veteran now, and he can go get help through the VA and put himself in the system. Put in his paperwork, whatever he's got to do. But that's good, Sister Aska, that he's out.
Yeah. Like you, he has a good heart, and yeah, good for the United States having good people in the military trying to do good. Unfortunately, I do believe that whoever's leading the military, I don't know, I just wouldn't trust their intentions and how they're using the military and these great people, but definitely people who are, just ready to put their life on the line, as you know yourself, and that's a beautiful thing. That takes a lot of. I think that takes a lot of love too. To risk your life in that way for your.
Yeah, I believe. Like I said, I haven't been into politics. I haven't said nothing about politics for a while, but yeah, our leader seems like he's being bonded by something, or is it just that he's old age? He shouldn't even be in that position. I believe he needs to get either leave or get impeached, one of the two. He's not capable of doing the job as a leader. And the people under him are even worse. But that's just my opinion, and we just leave it at that because I wanted to. I just keep a love foundation, But people like that, I believe.
I share that opinion.
Yeah. I mean, you see it. You can see it. Just like when you can tell when somebody's drunk, you can tell when somebody is not all up there, and he's not all up there. Come on, you shouldn't have that position. If I
I
was in the military and I was acting that way like I lost my mind. Well, you know what they would do with a soldier? He looks like they lost their mind or they're crazy. They send him to the fifth ward. They should do the same thing for him. You know, he's part of the army. He's a soldier, right? He's in charge. He's supposed to be the head, the structure of the foundation of all the way down the ranks. Well, the way he's acting is not all. He's not all up there. There's something wrong with him. He's either gonna be go to the hospice or somebody needs to do something because this man is not stable. I mean, what I've seen, and what I've seen is not even the news. What I've seen is through the news on, I guess, the little parts of the news on Facebook when I'm on Facebook. But yeah, he's unstable. He shouldn't be running the country. That's all I think, you know. But that's my opinion. And the people under him are worse. So, but you know what? We'll see what happens. You know, we'll see what happens in the next couple of years. Who's gonna step
yeah,
up against him?
you know, at the end of the day, the only reason that this is our reality right now is because we want it to be. That is the vibration that we're at as people, you know. The president that we choose has everything to do with the, you know, our morals, our values, our state, our vibrational state, and that's the vibrational state of the people, you know, letting not just there but in my country too, until this president now, that, you know, the media makes him out to be, you know, terrible, but the reality is that he's not. He's ending corruption. And then the media and the people who are losing money from that. You know, I even told you a little bit about this. The actors and actresses that what used to get paid by the politicians, government, like federal money, for supporting them. So this president saw everything that was happening, cut it out. It was millions of real, that he put back into the government, and that's the truth. However, people are so gullible and they really think that the media will always tell the truth. So they believe it, and some people hate him because the media portrays that image. You know, media is like a big weapon today. So that's the situation. It happens here, it happens there, but I'm so happy that we finally got a president who, you know, is fighting for, you know, the country to end corruption. The guy took you know, he was stabbed, you know, and he's still there and he still goes out. He got stabbed by sorry, he got stabbed by somebody was hired to kill him. They put somebody in the crowd, and they stabbed him, and but he survived. And so yeah, he's doing huge work, and apparently the people of Brazil are awakened because everybody was there to support him on September 7th. We had our you know, day of Independence Day, and that's the day where, you know, went out to protest for him, and also to get some shady people off of the Supreme Court, because that's what's taking place. Like, you know, the evil is trying to trade everything.
That's
So
happening everywhere. It's a worldwide thing. You know, it's the new world order, I guess what they call, but it's the people with the money that are in power. They're trying to take control of the world. You know, it's happening everywhere. They're trying to build the same structure in every country, every place to be in control. It's power hungry. They're power hungry. But the question is, there's going to be a day that the people are going to fight, and that's what's going to happen. The people are going to get tired, and people are going to stand up and fight. You know, and that's what's going to happen. And when that happens, it's going to be havoc everywhere. It's going to be happening worldwide because the people will get tired of being put down, so they're going to rise up, and it's going to be chaos, and it's going to be a lot of things happening worse than right now. It's just that's why it's important to always maintain a love foundation because we have to. We have to. Is there anything else you want to say, Sister Aska, or any final words maybe? I
no,
know. I know
hold
you're
that
tired
light.
because you work today. What advice would you give people or somebody that might be going through something or somebody that wants to free themselves for something? What would you tell them?
I would tell them, stop blaming yourself, stop feeling guilty about the things you can't do, you're not able to do. Stop self, committing self abuse, and love yourself more. Now more than ever, love yourself. We are humans, and the process of growth. It is normal. We all have a past. We all have a past that we are not proud of. That's a part of the process. Um, and the best thing that we can do now and always is to look ahead, believe in ourselves, believe that we are worthy, we deserve love, we deserve the best, and stop feeling guilty for our past or for the person that we cannot be. But let's love ourselves for who we are, because we are amazing. We are here for a reason, and we're always the ones to generally look down on ourselves and think that we're terrible people when we are amazing people. We don't see ourselves for what we truly are. We don't see the good in us like sometimes other people do, and they don't tell us. So it's important that we notice it ourselves. That we
Yes.
take knowledge of that, and the more we love ourselves, the more we'll love other people, and that's the life that we deserve. So that's what I would say. Let's focus on our own path right now. Eat healthy. Try to eat less meat, because whether we like it or not, meat, it's a dead animal who suffered a lot, and that negativity is impregnated in their bodies. We eat their flesh. We just transfer it to us. That causes, cancer.
All
That
kinds of,
causes all types of things. So if we can't like give it up, let's just reduce that intake and eat more live foods. Not corpses.
yeah, a
Because
lot of meats and stuff. That's as you grow older, it gives you the high cholesterol. It can clog your arteries, give you a heart attack. You can get diabetes. The starches can give you diabetes, eating too much bread. You got to watch the portions that you eat. That's the problems I'm having right now. That I have to limit myself with certain things. I mean, one of the things I have to stay away from sugars. They want me to stay away from sugars. I've been staying away from sugars. Trying my best to stay away from sugars. I'm only human, but I'm doing my best with what I can do. But yeah,
yeah,
you can have long-term side effects that can cause some serious things to happen, which is the cholesterol. High cholesterol can cause clogged arteries, heart attacks, stroke.
cause of death
Those are the
in
things.
America and
Yeah, yeah.
Brazil.
And a lot of those meats and a lot of food right now has a lot of other things in it too that are placed in it to keep it a certain way. So we have to be careful what we intake, and especially with the spiritual war that's happening right now, we really have to be careful of what we put in our systems, because that could be an opening. Like I said, dead animals and stuff like that, that could be an opening. So, vegetables are good. I've gotten to eating beef and broccoli now. I mean, not beef and broccoli, broccoli and cheese with mashed potatoes, or make a salad. I've been watching what I eat. I lost some weight, and I'm gonna continue on that journey. Before I got sick with the COVID, I was walking miles, and I had lost some weight, and with the COVID, lost even more weight. But yeah, I'm trying to be as healthy as possible myself. I know Sister Aska's been doing it for a while now, and she's a prime example of that. She makes some crazy ingredients. That's all I know. Uh, she'll make something out of nothing, that's just all like vegetables. And it's like, whoa, and it's like, I'm freaking out. Like, how did you make that? She didn't make some tacos. What was the
Oh
taco
my
made out of?
God, I
She made some tacos
Pork
out of
tacos.
vegetables. Well, right? It was vegetables. I seen you make a taco out of a vegetable or something one time. So like, how did you make that? And guess what? Junior started. Now they have tortillas that are made out of like spinach tortillas,
Oh,
and
I know
he
that one. I know that tortillas.
the spinach they got spinach tortillas, and they got the one that's got vegetable tortillas, and he be eating those. And I tasted one. He tasted pretty good, you know.
It's
But
healthy.
we've been he's doing boxing, you know. He's been trying to watch what he eats because you know he can have all that fat intake, so he's been eating healthy. You know, he's been doing that for a while, the boxing thing, and he's been eating like a lot of healthy, just healthy food. You know, like that has no fat or grease or stuff like that. Even he just eats healthy, like
That's good.
a lot of soups, veggies, and just like that. You know, but you know, when I was younger, I couldn't see that. But now that I'm older and I go to the doctor, they tell me all these things. They're like, man, they try to scare me. You know, the doctor got so mad at me and said, you know what's gonna happen to you the way you're going. It's not good. The route you're going, she said, it's irreversible. Once you get it, that's it. You're done. You know, and she got on me. Her name's Dr. Van. She got on me really bad. You know. Yeah, that's the person I don't want to talk to. So, but I was slick. What I did is I made a over the phone appointment. So if she gets mad at me, I just hear her to the phone. I put the phone away like this, and I can hear her blabbing, you know, like Charlie Brown or you know Charlie Brown with the teachers. Wah, 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 wah. I put it way over here and let her. I let her stop. Well, maybe I do that to everybody. I'm sorry, Marie. I'm sorry, darling. Put it way over here. So once I hear her not argue no more or get mad, I'll be like, okay, Dr. Van. More like that. You can't
Oh
do it
my
like you see
goodness.
it. You go to the appointment in person. So I just put the phone way far away, let her go off. And sometimes I don't even listen to what she's telling me, you know, but that's what I do. Yeah. Dr. Van, she's a trip.
Oh,
Yeah. But sister, I know you're tired and all. And thank you very much for making this episode for me, and we're gonna find out where we made it, whether we made it on my site or on the spiritual cryptid encounter site, or if it's on the I don't know what happened, but I'm just glad that you're able to do this. And again, congratulations on your engagement with Eric. I believe you're a very matchmaking couple. You know, like the prince and the Cinderella. You know, that's what I see. You know, the prince and Cinderella. You know, Prince
no,
Charming
it was something else. You're too funny.
and Cinderella. That's what I see right there, you know. And I'm the
Oh my
cockroach in the
goodness,
corner.
that's funny.
I'm the cockroach in the corner, trying to tell you that I'm the little roach in the corner saying, always maintain the love foundation. I'm like,
Yeah.
uh, well, thank you, sister, for being on, and God bless you and your family uh, over there, and for the Heavenly Father to always be around y'all and have His angels around y'all to protect y'all at all times.
Amen.
Amen.
And you're definitely inspiring me. I think through you, I can see that we can make a difference in people's lives. Just how we met shows that so long ago we've been making these videos and helping so many people, me included. You definitely changed my path for sure. And I want to be able to do the same for others. So, as uncomfortable as it is at first to, come out here and talk to people who may or may not want to listen, and you don't know, right, what kind of effect you're gonna have on people. It's a process, but I'm gonna put myself out there. I'm gonna do it because I know that you have. I see what you've been doing, and
Yeah.
beautiful work, and I want to be able to, if I can help at least one person out there somehow, then it's worth it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I've been doing
great.
all this works. I've been seeing I've been seeing the happiness that of you and Eric, and I see you happy, and I said, well, they're good. They have that love right there of one another. So I continue to do the work that I was doing over here on the sidelines. But y'all got the travel channel over there, sister Aska?
The what channel?
The travel channel. That's what I'm going to come out on that episode.
Oh no, we don't have it. But
Oh, okay.
my friend AJ, I don't know if he's on right now. He's like my
Mm-hmm.
best friend, super supportive. Anyways, any link I need, he can find. So I'm gonna ask him.
Okay.
I already told
He's
him about this. He said he was gonna watch. He's from Texas too. He's in Cibolo,
yes.
Texas. So
Okay.
I hope he can hook me up with a link.
Right. Right. Well, yeah, there's links where you can get on there and it'll show everything that's happening everywhere, nowadays.
That's awesome.
Uh, but I guess I just want to say a little prayer before we go, if it's all right.
That would be great.
Uh, Heavenly Father, I want to say thank you for all the people you placed in my path that I've known from the past and to the present, that we're able to connect spiritually through a love foundation. At this time, I would like to pray for everybody that's sick with the COVID that are in hospitals, for you to send your heavenly angels. And we're placing spiritual heavenly crosses in every room all over the world that where there's somebody sick with a COVID. We tie, bind, and rebuke any negative attachments that are causing them to be sick. And we're praying to the Heavenly Father to use them as an example of a walking miracle and to heal them from whatever they're going through. Please, I pray in your name. Amen.
Amen. Beautiful. I feel so inspired to this. I feel lifted. My vibration is definitely higher. I feel great, and I want to bring that to the world. I think, you know, just this little gathering, us two, and all the people that's been on here, we can make a difference. So
Yes, we can.
let's do
Well,
this.
God bless you, and till we meet again, whether we do another live sometime, or group
Definitely.
up with another individual, and keep on spreading the word of Always Maintaining Love Foundation. Yeah, you have a nice evening, sister. I know it's late over there. Thank you
Thank you.
for
Thank you.
taking time out of your schedule to help to come do the show.
It's been an honor. Thank you.
All righty, sister. You have a good
Until
night.
next time.
Tell your mom I said hi. Brother
All
Abe
right,
said hi.
I will.
Okay.
I will.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Tell hi to Maria and little Abe, as I call him. That's
He's
now
not
my
little Abe no
baby.
more.
Tell him that.
Little Abe is 6'2" now.
Woo!
I'm
Is he
like a
taller
midget.
than you? Did he beat your height?
Yeah, he's 6'2". I'm a midget compared to him. He's
How tall are you?
6'2". Me, I'm only 5'10".
What? Really?
But he's 6'2". He
That's a
done left me
talent right
behind.
there.
He been looking down at me. Like, hey son.
Like,
Yeah, it's like, can you change the light bulb? Yeah, he's pretty
Eric is
tall.
6'2" as well.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
know
he's
the
6'2".
feeling. Little
Oh
5 foot
yeah.
me.
Yeah. Oh, he's tall. Yeah, and so they're the same height then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're the
he
same
grew.
height.
He grew like he was 6'1", and next thing you know, they're telling me 6'2". I mean, it's like he's grown.
How old is he?
All right, sister. He's 19.
He's only 19?
He's 19. Yeah.
Oh my God, I thought he was older than that. Oh.
He's gonna be 20. He's gonna be 20 in October. He'll be 20 in October.
But you're a good dad. I've seen it
I know.
firsthand.
So you remember
You have
how
the
old he
biggest love
was?
of your life. And
Yes, yes. Me, I just love everybody. We're supposed to love one another as brothers and sisters, and it's all about the spirit, all the soul. We're all connected spiritually, and we gotta keep on spreading the love, the beacon of light. Continue to spread the love, regardless of what's happening around us. The love will be that beacon of light that'll clear the path for whatever's in front of us. It's going to clear the path because whatever's there, and if is negative, it's going to go away, and the path is going to get cleared by maintaining the love foundation.
That's
I
right.
hope that makes sense.
May I have half of your strength whenever I need it. You're a
Okay, sister.
warrior, and let's build a team of light workers and light warriors, and yeah.
Yeah, love can overcome anything. I'm telling you, I've been in so many situations that's what I use is love to overcome the situations I'm in. Like I said, Maria, she sees it now, like, whoa, he gets in some certain situations that's no way. How can she's like, how can he get in those situations? Not that I'm getting in the situations, is that they're being placed in front of me so I can take care of them spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Heavenly Father uses me as a vessel to take care of those situations. So it's something that I've been doing for a very long time, and I continue to do the works. Once I'm here for a reason. I got blessed to come back to my body when I was already gone. So that's why I'm doing His work. So I have to stay obedient and do the works, and I'm going to continue.
Yes. Yes, you will. I know it.
All righty, sister.
All right.
Uh,
It was great. Thank you. See you
Good
next
night.
time.
Yes.
Night.
Bye.